Hello, Sagittarius. Hi, welcome and thank you so much for being here. We're going to do a reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Whenever the timelessness that this reading finds you is right. Just see what resonates, leave what doesn't. We're going to take a peek into the energy going on now, but also in the future. Take a look at love, career, general messages, and remember that divine guidance is in you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's dive right in, Sag. This is the mystery deck. We're gonna get a couple of like foundational, basic opening messages for you. So let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Clarity for Sagittarius. Woo! Maybe that's our first one. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And that's a good one to start with. There's going to be a big turnaround in a situation. A turnaround in somebody's energy, your energy. Clarity that comes all of a sudden. Somebody switching directions. But this is switching directions in the right way. I see like down the right path. So maybe somebody headed down the wrong path and they're doing a big turnaround, coming back. I'm getting like open-minded, seeing something a different way. Seeing like the signs. So maybe somebody was like bypassing all of these signs and signals they were getting, but they were just sort of getting kind of like in la la land, or not noticing something that was even right in front of their face. But I kind of feel like Sagittarius, that's somebody else, not you. But it could be that some of you are making a big turnaround. I just heard the big comeback. It's a big comeback. Maybe you took a little pause on something for a little while. You're coming back with a bang. Let go, let God. Beautiful. There's something that is just going to work itself out as soon as you release your energy. This is something that is working out in divine timing, Sag. It's going to come out in the best light possible. I do feel like you were hyper focused on something in the past, and then there was a light that went out. But it's like here you got that like black light that's coming on. So even in a dark situation or something where you were unclear, you're going to gain some clarity, or somebody's going to help turn on this light. I just heard the word bright. Something's going to be bright. And I don't know why I thought of a light bright. That's a really weird thing to think of. Or like going back to 1985 with you. Maybe they still make those. So I see like the pegs in the light. So I do feel like you're creating some kind of pattern. Or maybe it's about a pattern. Let me let you see this card. See how it's kind of glowing in the dark? What else would be helpful for Sagittarius, please and thank you. And then we will clarify all these and see how they kind of groove together. You got this. I feel like this is you focusing on the right things. I just heard now. Maybe you weren't before. You got this. You can handle something. You can handle this big comeback, this big turnaround. You can handle releasing something that maybe you felt called. I see it like to orchestrate or direct, but I actually see a conductor. So maybe you had to conduct something, but it's almost like it was the wrong orchestra. You're going to be directed to the right vibrations. I see an orchestra, Sagittarius, so maybe that's a lot of energies around you, and I see every instrument is out of tune. And it's almost like no one's even playing like the right song. I feel like either you're going to take a wacky situation like that, get everybody the correct music, get everybody to be in tune together. I do see you coordinating something here. So that could be a work environment, a family, a friend group, a project you're working on, something like that. It could even be like you and customers, but I feel like you're going to get everyone in harmony, get everyone on the same page, and get something smooth and running. I do feel like it involves practice. And I feel like if you're in any kind of environment where it was just out of tune, I feel like you were directing the wrong class, the wrong level. You need to, I feel like you have leveled up, but you need to go to where you are connecting to people on your level. That, I don't know, have the right vibration. Look at something with an open mind. Because I feel like there was maybe even like stubborn energy around you. Like you're trying to direct something, even if it was maybe just a couple of people. It's like they refuse to play the right piece of music. I don't know why I'm getting that as an energy imprint, but I hope that makes sense. Sort of. So I do feel like for some of you, you may have even had to cut some people out if they were refusing to cooperate with something. Saying let go, let God, and go and do something new. Maybe it's about a new approach, or this is just you have to switch something up and do something you've never done before. That should be good for you, Sag. Sagittarius is amazing at expansion, growth, doing something different and daring and new and special and unusual. But maybe this is you inspiring somebody else. I see somebody like refusing to get off the couch. If there was somebody who didn't want to get off the couch and try something new, you would be the one to get them into a new groove. Hey Rose, what you doing? So let's see. Up to you. You got a lot of you energy here. A lot of this is up to you, except for this one, which is where you have to let go and let God. So I do feel like this has to do with someone else's energy or situation or an overall divine timing thing to work out when it's supposed to. Maybe not on your agenda, because you have a lot of stuff here, this big turnaround. You got this, up to you, and go do something new. So if you're putting energy somewhere and it's not getting anywhere, the person's, hi Rose, not getting off the couch, changes aren't being made, it's not in harmony, they're playing the wrong piece of music. You need to be the one to move. You need to be the one to change. There is something that is up to you to do, but you got this. You can do it. So maybe it is a big change in your life. Rose, why do you want so much attention, babe? Do you want to say hi to Sag? Want to say hi? She wants to say hi to Sagittarius. Hello. Why don't you go get your ball and I'll throw it for you. Go ahead, go get your ball. Yeah. All right, what is another message for Sagittarius? Time is so precious. I do feel like some of you were wasting a little bit of time with the wrong person in the wrong situation, or on something that wasn't growing, and you're getting a little itchy to change. So it's time to get started. Time is precious. So paying attention to where you place your time, who you put your time into, and what you do with your day, because I always feel like that's a seize the day kind of energy. So is there something you've been thinking about doing, planning, signing up for, trying, beginning, and you haven't done it yet? Today is the day to begin. Today is the day to at least start to make those plans or do a little research to I don't know, I see you mapping something out. I also see, I see you doing research, getting some knowledge on something. So what is, let's do one more. One more for Sag. Oh, you have beautiful energy coming through here. You have future gratitude. So this brings you back to having that gratitude right now today on all of these blessings that are about to come into your life. You're already in this energy of gratitude. You know you can handle something. You know you can have this new energy coming in. You absolutely know God is working in your favor for your highest and greatest good and bringing the right thing, person, situation, opportunity in when the vibration is glowing properly. Because I feel like this is, I don't know why I see day and night. And you have a big turnaround. I said I was going to do one, but I wanted to shuffle again. So one more for Sag. Wishing the words were said. Okay, so that is a little bit of regretful energy that's coming in. Either you or someone else wishes they said something, got something off their mind, expressing their heart, expressed the truth, was more clear. I feel like somebody had to fill in the lines. I kind of feel like with this energy, something was felt, but you never got a solid conversation. So you can't go back to the past. You can't even really jump into the future yet. You can only be in the now. So if in the now of whenever it comes up, you get to say those words you were thinking about, take a hold of that precious opportunity and speak. I feel like you need to ask for what you want. Maybe some of you set some boundaries or express something that you really wish you just would have said. But I'm kind of getting that you, for the biggest group here, don't really want anything back. You just want it to be heard. Maybe you even said something and it wasn't heard. But I feel like if that was the case, you only sort of hinted. You weren't very clear. And for some of you, that's somebody else. And maybe it's having future gratitude that this new chance, this new energy, this beautiful, precious moment and a big turnaround in somebody else's energy, since it is also up to somebody else's own free will come through. And you're going to hear some pretty special words. So let's continue. Rose, babe. All right, let's go to the career and life and get a little clarity for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I'm kind of petting her with my foot. I'm multitasking here. So what is a message for Sagittarius when it comes to life, career, prosperity, money, abundance, security, projects, all of that fun stuff? She's getting a butt scratch at the same time, Sag. All right, clarity for Sagittarius, please, and thank you. Reflection. It's interesting because you have future gratitude. Time is so precious, which is the now. And now you have a card that's actually telling you to think about the past or reflect upon something in a different light. I do see light. So reflection. Maybe somebody's had some time to reflect on a situation with you, Sag. Take time to revisit the past. Don't get stuck in the past. Just take a little glance-a-roo and figure out what you want to do. So this is you looking at the past because you've learned something. Because maybe you don't want to repeat something, or you want to try something you never got to do but said you were going to do it. Knowing what you want, knowing what you don't like will show you what you truly love. So, I mean, I do like this. I feel like this is about boundaries, but this is about also big changes inside of you because it's self-reflection. So it's how you did or did not handle something in the past, what you did or did not say in the past. And this reflection is what brings changes in the now. That's all up to you, to change or not. But this new energy is going to bring you into a new cycle in the future. New blessings, new situations, new energies. But if you don't have that moment to reflect on what you would change, you could get into a repeat pattern. And I feel like you don't want to do that anymore. I do feel like you want this new energy, because this feels kind of like the Fool here. You got this. You can do it. Just take a little look-see in the past to use it as clarity of what can change in your future. And you start to make those changes today. So let's clarify this reflection with a tarot. What did I bring? I have this one. It's like the vintage. So let's see why you, or possibly giving you the understanding why somebody else is maybe reflecting upon the past. Clarity on reflection, figuring out what you want to do, knowing what you don't like, so you are taken to what you truly love. So it's also, don't overly focus on the not likes, the nots, the don'ts. Focus on what you would prefer. What are the solutions? What you want to look towards. Focus on the light part of the situation, you know, the thing that you figured out because of something else. Clarity for Sagittarius. What is a message when it comes to career, life, prosperity, money, abundance? Oh yeah, you're well, very appropriate. You got the Hermit. So maybe you're connecting to a Virgo energy. It's interesting that it has that reflection, and that's exactly what the Hermit is. It's inner awareness and self-reflection, taking a little moment to shine a light to see what was in the dark or what you didn't want to look at before, because it brings a light inside of you that creates wisdom. This is someone who is a wise teacher. So it is having a moment to yourself. You know, the Hermit kind of goes to the cave, but this Hermit isn't in a cave. They're kind of out in like the, I don't know, it's like the twilight or that morning light. They're holding this lantern that has a big star. They are grounded on the earth with this rod. So there is kind of a fiery nature to this particular Sagittarius, but they're grounded on earth. So whatever you are reflecting upon is grounding you back to earth. It's illuminating your way. I did see that light in the dark. The Hermit would be the one to be able to see in the dark, because that light comes from spiritual insight, discernment, divine awareness. And the Hermit is usually a guide. The Hermit's had a lot of experiences, good, bad, indifferent, and learned from all of them. That's why the Hermit is wise. It's not the one that never messed up. It's the one that changed because of what didn't work out or because of what they went through. So also with this, I always see that facet of the Hermit where the Hermit, it's a 9, so it's almost an ending. But right before that ending, the Hermit has to know when to keep that light on and when to also turn it off. And I feel like when the Hermit turns the light off, it's usually turned off towards others. So there's a time for the Hermit to teach by example, wise advice, knowledge gained. But if somebody is completely reliant on that light and they don't know how to find the light switch on their own, they're always, hoping you bring your black light here and your glow in the dark aura is going to help them, and they're not helping themselves. One thing that the Hermit does as a wise teacher is they teach someone to help themselves. And sometimes it's a tough teacher. Sometimes you have to let someone be in the dark a little bit so they figure something out on their own. But that always brings somebody some strength. It brings somebody confidence. It taps them into their own divine connection to source, so they don't always have to rely on someone else to get them there. It is very strong, but it's not always an easy lesson. And sometimes if this Hermit really does desire to help, their heart's in the right place, it's hard to turn the light off on someone might stumble and fail. But maybe they won't. Maybe they're going to find that light switch right away, but they never had the chance. or, you know, we're given the space to. Other message with the Hermit is after this inner reflection, this clarity, this wisdom, the Hermit has to get out of the cave or come back from the past, come back into the now, and shine a light on their new path along their way. Even if it's still twilight and it's still dark and they can't quite see, they're going to see the steps ahead of them they need to go in the right direction. The Hermit sometimes takes way too much alone time together. They have all this wisdom and then they don't share that beautiful wisdom with others at all. They keep all that wisdom to his or herself, to themselves. So I do feel like there's wisdom you need to share. It could also be you connecting to someone that has some wise advice. It might even make you stop and want to retreat. Sometimes you can get some, if it's that tough teacher, somebody says something, you're like, whoa. I feel like somebody even took something the wrong way at first, but then thought about it later, you know, and saw something through a different perception. And I kind of feel like that wasn't you. I feel like maybe that's something you said to someone, like you saw the truth pretty easily and somebody wasn't ready to hear it yet. And with this up to you, it's also up to someone else, free will. They might hear it, they might not. Lead a horse to water. They might drink, they might not. But I do feel like you had to let something go, let somebody learn. Maybe there's even more words you wish you would have said, but somebody only heard like the big ones. I feel like you could have even softened something or resolved something, but maybe you had lack of communication and no one gave you the chance to. I feel like you're going to get your chance. Let's get one more on this reflection. But I asked about career here. So this might be looking at the career path you were on and reflecting if that's really working for you anymore. Because it's taking you to a career or a project or something that you truly love. That begins with this. That begins with you doing something you truly enjoy, even if you don't see how that could possibly bring an income. Maybe this is for some of you something that starts as just a side project, something that you just kind of do here and there, but maybe that path illuminates more and more opportunities open up on that path because you don't even really care where it takes you. You're enjoying the ride. You're actually enjoying that journey. So let's see. I feel like this Hermit is shining a light in a certain direction, although looking down at the ground. Up to you. So I feel like with this Hermit, actually I have it here. Let me show you. This Hermit's kind of looking down at the ground, but it looks like there's a sign right there. So maybe it's pointing that lantern in a different direction where you can see that spiritual signpost. Maybe it's taking you down a different road. Let's just go a little deeper in this Hermit's energy. What would be helpful for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Oh, wow. You came through in your reading. I love when that happens. You have Temperance. So you're shining a light on yourself, Sag. Good for you. You're shining a light on yourself. How valuable you are, recognizing maybe if you were valued where you were, what you were working on, whether that was actually valuable to you or you were just going through the motions. You do have a big turnaround here. So if you have Temperance, these are big. You got a big situation. You don't just have a little bitty day-to-day minor arcana coming through. These are pretty big. That is absolutely a big turnaround. It's also telling you now is the time. So Sagittarius is also where you have some divine guidance. There's always that beautiful angel of protection, bringing new possibilities in your life, opening up big, bright doors. This is also where you find how you can become maybe, because I see this on the earth level, the mundane level, as becoming the professional. So maybe you have to start something where in the beginning, you're kind of novice, you're kind of new, it's a little different, but you're going to get really good at it really fast. You're going to figure it out. You got this, Sag. You're going to figure something out faster than you think, step by step. Look at your halo. You know, it's like you found the perfect blend between hot and cold to find that perfect warm. You are balanced between air, earth, fire, and water, because I feel like that fire is your halo. You also have this crown back here. Maybe your crown chakra, but it's interesting because you're reflecting on spiritual energy, but you have something that's actually physical that's going to be crowning you at the top of that mountain. I do feel like you're meant to be in charge of something. Maybe it's just about sticking a toe in right now. You're not ready to completely dive into, you know, something. But I am getting that it might be a step-by-step process, but you also might want to just dive right in. Maybe it's getting over an obstacle since you have the mountains. And I don't know why I see those flowers like daffodils. So maybe something's going to come up and blossom in the right season. But temperance is also I see it as sometimes a divine partnership. I know I asked about clarifying career. So maybe this is a really special partnership involving your career, but it's where you've gotten rid of the impurities. You've gotten rid of the things that you didn't like, that were holding you back, keeping you in the dark, stunning. Ooh, maybe you're stunning, but like more like stunning, like stalling your expansion here with, you know, going into new territory or doing something different. And you've only left that divine pure energy. The gold is what's left. 14. You found the Goldilocks zone. That's sort of how I see that. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. You know, it's like that. I always see it like the perfect bartender. You know, you have different customers. Some people are on a sassy date. They don't want to be bothered. They just want to get their drinks and go away. Don't get involved in that sassy conversation. And others come there and they want to communicate. They don't have anyone else to tell their day to. Some people are there to celebrate. Some are there to, you know, have something where they can just exit out of that breakup or that situation they're going through. Everyone's there and then everybody's tastes are different. You know, so it's handling everything at once. The glass breaks over there. That has to be the first thing you clean up, but you have to say hi to the people that just walked in so they're not ignored. You know, you deal with something in the kitchen. This person wants it more spicy. That person thinks the spice is too much. So it's all about learning all of those energies. So I do feel like some of you are doing something with a lot of different personalities, or you're multitasking something where it's all about that beautiful balance. You make something look like it's easy and breezy, but it's not. So maybe the first time you do something new, you're like, whoa, this is insane. This is so much to handle. I don't think I can do this. But you know what? You got this. Go back for day 2. I don't know what you're doing here, but I feel like in the beginning, you're going to feel like it's a lot to handle. And I feel like you're going to be really proud of yourself that you're the one person that does it different, that does it better. And I'm just seeing that you actually get a lot of people excited to do something, either that they never thought they'd give a go to or try, or something that's not, I don't even know what it is. I don't know why that takes me to math. Sagittarius. It's like you get them excited about math, you know? So let's just say you're a professor or you teach kids or something like that. Like, you know, we've got math class, you sit there like boring. You're going to be the one to take that. Let's just use this as an example. Make math class the fave subject with everybody, because it's not about the subject. It's about your approach, you know, your presentation, even how you connect. That's what's going to be different. That's why something is special for you. And you might not even know what that is yet. I feel like you're going to figure it out step by step. Follow the clues. I always feel like if you follow the joy first, follow what makes you excited and happy, your interests. Start there, because that's when God opens up the right doors, you know, the path to your destiny. You'll see that once you hit something just the right way, or, you know, you're going in the right direction, more things open up to you, and they feel like gold. They feel like sunshine. They feel like they reflect back, you know, the right energies, opportunities, people, conversations to you, where you feel renewed and inspired. So let's go to love. Let's switch subjects. I'm kind of doing slightly different cards on each of these zodiac readings, and interesting that I bought the neon, and I'm stumbling my words all of a sudden, Sag. So maybe it has to do with whoever I'm connecting to having a little bit of trouble communicating or not having the right words. Even if you stumble in the beginning, just keep going. Just keep going. I'm seeing that like relatability thing, which is really important. Sometimes it's actually very wise to show somebody that you're not afraid to mess up, you know, because no one's perfect. And sometimes the mess ups give other people permission, or, you know, take them into that grounded energy of personal power, that it's okay to try and do something new and mess up, because that's how you grow. Because I do feel like there's somebody around you or people around you where they're not trying at all, because they're a little, I just heard a scaredy pants. They're like really nervous. They don't want to mess up. So maybe you allowing someone to see you mess up is actually very inspiring. So don't let that stop you. If you're gonna mess up, I hear if you're gonna mess up big. And then stand up straight, you know? Because I do see you doing something very graciously. I see a lot of charisma. So, let me make this a little organized. What did I say about the neon? So I brought the neon. At first, when I started doing these readings, I thought I was going to do all the same cards, but that didn't feel right. So you have yourself glowing in neon here, and I did bring the neon clarifying love situations. So let's clarify a little love situation for you. Maybe something coming in. I just heard someone that's confusing you. Maybe the past. It does say to look at the past, so this could be just a past energy for some of you, giving you a different perception on someone or something. Or it could be current. The only thing that I find weird, you have all this time energy, and I find time is so weird, so hard to explain, because time is really hard. It kind of feels like it doesn't exist. You know, especially down here. You know, if you do something you love, you're really into it, time can fly by, and you just wish you had more time in the day. And then you could do something like you're not really into, or you're really bored, and you're like staring at the clock. I don't know why I just thought of the movie Waiting. Maybe some of you do work in a restaurant. I did mention The Bartender before. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. If you do work in a restaurant, that is the movie to see. Everybody's in it. It's very, very, it's weird and funny. It's like Justin Long, and who else is in that movie? nobody else that I can get a name of right now, so it doesn't matter. But there's this moment where all the chefs are in the kitchen and there's like 3 minutes to close, and they all have everything cleaned up and they're staring at the clock and it's just not moving. And like 2 minutes of somebody walks in. They're like, "Are you still open?" They're like, "Man!" So maybe it's something about closing time. Or like, I kind of feel like it's interesting. I actually see the opposite energy than that movie though. Even if you feel a little disappointed, like you were ready to go, and now you have to stick around and do something a little longer, I kind of feel like there's going to be something that's worth it. You know, like I see that you maybe wanted to go home, but then maybe that person that you were supposed to meet just happened to be a little late, but might be somebody really helpful for you or somebody you were supposed to meet. Or I'm even seeing this is a weird message, Sag, like actually stalling you from being in another weird position, which is kind of interesting. So let's just go into love, see what comes through. So this could be past, present, or future. See how it connects to you. Always leave it, don't force Cinderella's slipper to fit you. If it's not your situation at all, it's a message for someone else. So what would be helpful for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, when it comes to love, relationships, matters of the heart, connections? Please and thank you. What is the opening message? Hard work. We're going back to work. So even in the love deck, you got a hard work message that came through. Maybe something is going to be a lot of work. I did just talk about work, but maybe you're reflecting also on, I'm getting like this as a bridge between career and love, which is kind of nice. I did see that golden opportunity. And the other thing that I connect gold with is honey and bees, because bees are for the, bees are so important for the ecosystem of the entire world. Also, I'm going to slip this in here, coming from a beekeeper. If any of you think of something that you could do that's new and that's available to you to have a beehive and or support your local beekeepers, absolutely do it. We need the bees. So that was like my little soapbox, like slip it in there. Other people, try to sell their product. I try to sell people on being a beekeeper because it's so important. It is. The year that we didn't have the bees, we had like 2 apples on our trees. And then we got bees and it was the biggest harvest I've ever seen. And even now, those apples are huge. It's because of the bees. They're so important. Also, it's like, I don't know why I just saw allergies. If you do, I guess I'm going a little side note here. If you do have allergies and you buy local honey, those bees pollinate the local things in your environment that usually are the things that people who have allergies are affected by. So it actually gives you a lot of, you have to do the research on this. I'm only like sort of regurgitating something here, but it gives you the right opposite, like antidote to the allergies from the things you're actually around to actually help you. Honey, just look up honey. Honey is so important. Anyway, it does say that there's hard work, but you got this. B, there's going to be a big old turnaround, and it is something that's going to be rewarded. You're going to have that big apple tree with plump, beautiful, juicy fruit. So this might be, if it's a relationship, we'll segue, hard work with a certain person. Maybe it's been a long, hard road. Maybe this person's a piece of work, they're not so easy. But this is where, whatever it is, especially with this here, this is going to be someone who's going to have their inner light and their vibes in a very similar vibration with you, or they're going to get there. This is somebody dedicated. Didn't you have that? Up to you. I feel like they're going to, I don't know why I just heard someone all in or going to sign on the dotted line, or I just heard like sign me up. It's also the energy of fertility. So you're able to fertilize that soil. So even if you plant a couple of seeds, something's going to grow bigger, go farther, connect to more than you ever even thought. It's success, sweet indulgence, and it's Sagittarius. You're going to achieve the impossible. What did I say before with the temperance? Where there's something that no one else can do but you. It's going to feel like, I'm going to tell you, don't get frustrated here. Remember this, whatever this is you're into, whether this is a partnership or offered this position or a project you started, you are going to have a moment where you're going to want to stop, where it feels like a lot. Remember how far you've come. Remember how much you can do and how much you can handle. And remember this right here in this part of the reading, that you're going to be the one to achieve what maybe you thought was impossible, maybe what others thought was impossible, but God knew you could do it. You were the one that can do it. To do it. Do it. I'm excited to know whatever this is, if this is happening in your life or you remember this reading, and you can come back and type in the comments what it is that you've achieved. I would love to hear, because I'm really excited for Sagittarius right now. But you have to have some dedication. You got to put in some work. You know, sometimes those bees work. I feel like I love when messages come through. I can only connect to my personal experiences and knowledge and all that as far as getting the energetic imprint that helps you guys. But you always have to take this information and make it personal and go on your own little, intuitive journey. You have to follow your own internal guidance and direct connection to God for the messages to make sense to you and your situation. I'm also not, you see me squatting all the time. I am not used to the table situation yet, and I feel like you're so far away. But when you get that hive, at least with our hive, with the bees, you can't take their honey the first year because we have winter here. So that first year, you need to let them have their own honey so they survive through those winter seasons. And then it's like the next year, if the bees didn't go away, because sometimes they decide they want to go away and you got to get another queen. Then the next year you put a super. It's called the super. Like the super, it's like a penthouse on the honey hive, and it has a different little hole, so the queen can't go up there because she's a different size. She's got a different size butt, and then only the little honeybees go up there and they make a different honey that has no eggs in it, and it's the honey that you can take from because you're still giving them their hive to survive off of. But you have to wait that year, or at least we did. So don't, allow something proper timing. It's going to be well worth it, but this is something that the work is worth the effort. And if this has to segue into a partnership, it's something that's going to feel like it nourishes your life. So I also saw that like you with different personalities or something. So it might be that you work with people that have totally different skills, or you're working on a project all together. What is another message? But let's see if we can get a little more lovey, a little more love-based for Sagittarius. It's Sagittarius. It doesn't matter what I pull. The same kind of messages want to come through for you. So you have hard work and now you're rebuilding something. You're going back to the past. You have this reflection, but you're turning around and you're not doing something the same way. You're rebuilding maybe something that never got off the ground. Maybe this is rebuilding a partnership. Maybe this is you working on yourself and the right partnership coming in. Doing something different. Also, for some of you, you do have the wishing the words were said. Maybe this rebuilding begins for a group of you with somebody that through a very beautiful but maybe truthful and harsh conversation, you figure out how to do something different, how to actually be stronger. Maybe when you meet eye to eye, or you see the other person's perspective. I need to get my glasses. Hold on. This is putting in the work. Teamwork, dedication, fertility, success, sweet indulgence, achieving the impossible, putting in the work. It is second chances for some of you, but that might be you giving yourself a second chance. You know, it's up to you if you give someone else a second chance or not. Working on it, persistence, and you're going to overcome challenges. That feels really nice. Do I want to do one more? I have my hand on it, so yeah, let's do one more. One more for Sagittarius, please. And then we'll clarify with some tarot. Interesting that I said also the night thing here, seeing in the dark and the illumination, the glow, and I actually brought the Tarot de Nuit, Tarot of the Night here for you guys. So one more for Sag, please and thank you. What would be helpful? You got to cut something out. This is interesting because it's this. It is the reflection. You have to either cut out old habits, an old way of thinking. Anything in your life that is not there for your highest and greatest good and sees your potential and values who you are, time to cut it out. Time to do something that makes a difference. I just got a really weird message for you guys. I don't know, I saw a snake. So when I see a snake, that has different energy messages for me. Usually the snake is transformation. Sometimes like facing fears, shedding old skin, you know, something really new, which it could be this, because now I see a haircut. So sometimes when you just cut your hair, you know, trim off the dead ends, hair has energetic imprint of what you went through when it was growing. So maybe some of you cutting your hair makes a big difference, but I kind of see, you know, I don't really want to go there, but I kind of see like a snake in the grass. You know, you are letting something go. You're getting to see the writing on the wall. You got this. But if there is kind of a weird energy where you feel that, I see you with the, not pair of scissors, because I see these scissors and it reminds me of my grandma. She did not like snakes at all. You know, she was like 99, but she would get out there with like a big pair of scissors or like a sickle. I'm like, Grandma, what are you doing? She goes, she had to cut like the weird areas where the lawnmower wouldn't get the grass, because she would not allow it to be tall and to possibly have a snake in the grass. So I feel like, you know, that's what the scissors reminded me of, which took me to the snake. But I do feel like you got the damn lawnmower. Like nothing's gonna surprise you here. So maybe it is keeping order, pulling the weeds. Let's see what this actually says for you guys. It says the best to part ways to heal. So for some of you, this isn't forevs. Maybe you've already done that. You've parted ways, given some distance, you let go, let God. Put some of that hard work into you, into the facets of you you've reflected on, and you can change, you know. Take in your power or your energy aware from where it didn't need to be, or trying to, I don't know, I feel like you've just allowed someone their free will, whether they learn or not. So some people learned and some didn't. Moving on, endings, ties, severing. It could be abandonment, calling it quits, closed chapter, and walking away. I just thought of that song Walk Away by Christina Aguilera, which is a really good song. I was naive. Your love was like candy, artificially sweet. I was deceived by the wrapping. Got caught in your web. And then I learned how to bleed. I was prey in your hands, and you're something, oh, when it hurts myself, but she let go. Maybe listen to that song. So maybe like something kind of deceived you in the past. It won't again in the future. You have so much beautiful illumination. You're going to feel it out. And I don't feel like you're going to even want to repeat a pattern anymore. I feel like you've grown above and beyond that, whatever that was. But maybe for some of you, this tough conversation is a clear closure conversation. For some of you, you don't get to have that conversation. You just have to have closure within yourself, your own energy, to let something go, to release your strings of attachment or worry or overly focused on anyone else's situation right now, because you have some amazing stuff coming through. You need to focus on yourself here. And you're going to find the right people are going to focus on you, be dedicated, want to rebuild or build anew with you. I just keep hearing that. Sign me up. If somebody wants to walk away from you, I feel like you're just letting somebody walk away. I actually feel like some of you have somebody that's a little surprised by that. I feel like for some of you, somebody walked away or said they were going to do something and you're like, okay, peace. I just see, like, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. You know, you don't want to be there. You like don't want to bother. And I feel like somebody actually kind of did that it's weird, to test you or to, I don't know, see if you were really important. And I feel like you don't want to play any games and you just let somebody walk away. Maybe that gave them time to figure something out. They thought you were going to chase them and they turned around. You weren't there. You were building your own beautiful situation over here. So for some of you, that might not have been a big closure conversation. Sometimes you never get closure. You just have to accept that. Sometimes you never get the chance to have that big old conversation. You just, you know, wish you did. But if that's a conversation you're imagining in your mind, create that closure in your mind and then let that conversation go. Send that person love, forgiveness, you know, peace, and then cut your strings of attachment to that situation so you can get to this beautiful situation that the divine has working out for you. And whatever that is, you learned a lot. So it's still having past gratitude to all that you went through to get you where you need to be now to handle all this stuff that no one else in the world apparently but you can do. So let's go to that tarot. The Tarot de Nuit. Let's clarify hard work, rebuilding, and cut out for Sagittarius. What would be helpful? This is going to like fly around. What are some messages to help Sagittarius? To dive a little deeper into hard work, rebuilding, cut out. Please and thank you. What would be helpful for Sagittarius to know? Oh, that's hard work. Yeah, you got the Nine of Wands. That's also where you're almost at that ending. Or this is where, I mean, look at this. It's so strong. You do have that flame. This is usually the wounded healer. That's how I see this card. It's like the one you've been through. You're going through these battles. You've been through battle. It's not that you know, you got your battle scars here. You know, you're not just talking out your you-know-what when you talk about that wisdom that you've gained. You've been through something. You have the scars to prove it. Is that Scars to Your Beautiful? I think that's another song for you guys. But look how beautiful you are. Look at how powerful you are even through that battle. Even after that situation. It does mean it's almost done, but this is sometimes really knowing when to put up your guard, when to recognize red flags before they come. It's also knowing which battles are worth fighting and which are worth not even getting into or not doing again. But sometimes I see this as, where's your reward? Where you're doing something that's really hard because you know that that end result, that thing that you were working for, you know, that impossible dream you believed in. You knew you could do it. You knew it was waiting there at the end, but you just had to get through it. You have to get through something here. I sometimes see the Nine of Wands as that one last big push. One last push. One last try. But it might not be in the same place. It might be another go in a different way somewhere else. I guess upside down, it's getting, it's feeling like you're disempowered, or you don't have the strength to handle something, or you give up on something too soon, or you just keep battling something that feels never ending even. So let's get a little clarity on the Nine of Wands. What would be helpful to know for the Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Because now this is just a smaller situation. This is actually this. You got the Eight of Cups. The big boys, the big girls are over here. You know, your Temperance and your Hermit. This is just smaller day-to-day things that make a difference in your life that are definitely things that are up to you. Sag, what you do or what you don't do. So either you or someone else. I saw someone walking away and you're like, don't let the door hit you in the ass. But I kind of feel like maybe for some of you, you had to be the one to walk away. Or you have to. Whether this is love or a job. Any kind of project you were working on where it's a bittersweet ending. Because it takes a lot of strength to walk away from something that at one point you did put your love into, because it's cups. You put effort and energy into it because you were enjoying it and it was building and it was fulfilling until it wasn't. It's where something just stopped building, or somebody stopped giving the right attention or putting effort into it. So now it was an imbalance. So what this does though, is having the inner strength. I mean, there's a lot of strength here. It might not be any easy situation to walk away from for all of you, but walking away takes you towards your Nine of Cups. Venturing out into brand new territory where it feels weird. Never been there before, don't know how to handle it. Don't know even how you're going to be in that situation or what you're going to discover about yourself, but that takes you towards your ultimate wish come true, where you feel this abundance of love in your soul every day. You discover so much about yourself by doing something different here, that even if, interestingly, because it's just a minor arcana, I kind of see like this is the ending that doesn't always have to be the final ending. I do see this as where you can go back to an old situation, but you don't go back the same way. You don't go back the same person. You don't see that old situation, person, partnership, or childhood room the same way. Because the like little impression I get with this, it's like if somebody goes off to college. When you come home, after you've had some like grown-up experiences, you're not going to hug your teddy bears in the same way. You might have some looking back at the past, nostalgic, reminiscing on how they have some, you know, sentimental value to you. But you've grown up. You've seen something different. You've elevated. You've changed. You've gone into a new cycle. You've discovered brand new things about yourself that you love. Therefore, how you look at that other situation is there, but it's changed. You know, if this is a person walking away from a family or walking away from a partner they've been with for a long time. Let's just say this is somebody that leaves a rough situation where it was, I just saw love as a battlefield. Let's just say, use this as an example, Sag. There was a divorce, you know, and somebody had to go on, either learn what it was like to be independent, maybe somewhere down the road, they met a new partner, got remarried. You know, it's also let go and let God of the space of the other person to have their own cycle, their own situation, but we're going to look at one side of this coin. But let's just say, you know, this person found their happiness. I mean, like their person. They learned a lot from that past partnership. They don't really regret the whole thing because they recognize so much about their past that they wouldn't do in their current partnership from what they went through. So it's still gratitude for that. But let's just say both people went off and got remarried, found who fit them at this stage in their life, vibrated right, you know? So let's just say someone got married really, really young, and who they were when they were like 22 to 24 is not who they are at 45 to 50. for instance. The whole world has changed. They've had whole different experiences. But let's just say at one point they go back and they reconnect and they have a beautiful friendship. They're both in that vibration of love where they want to see the other person, because they cared about them at one point, be in the position where somebody gives them that reciprocal love that they deserve, but in the place where they are in their own personal growth. So it's not going to ever be the same dynamic it was when these two were 22 together, but it doesn't mean it can't be something different and something better, especially if it involves beautiful, divine connection. Because if there's a connection through that higher self to see someone in the eyes and light of God, you want the best for the other person. You know, maybe this wasn't the first person was not so cool. And it's never going to be where the right words are said. It's just a constant vibrational mismatch. And it's just not something that would ever be rebuilt on a solid foundation. And it is what it is. It's having reflection of that and having so much gratitude that that's not where you are. And, you know, that person's going to be with someone that matches them, maybe in constant chaos or constant confusion or constant arguing. But let's just say that person doesn't want to be there. You observe it, wish it well, say hi and bye, and move along to your new Nine of Cups, happily ever after, which is coming after the Nine of Cups situation. I was so specific, but I don't feel like that's everyone's situation. I just feel like those are two little examples. You know, the college kid's a little simpler, a little easier, but you know, when it's something like a big breakup or something that you put time and attention and energy into, it is different. But let's just say here, I do see that divorce situation. So that could have been a past issue, past situation, not everybody's situation. It could even be current. And now I thought of the kid going away to school. So let's just, I don't know. I do see maybe children are involved for some of you. But I feel like if someone is reaching that beautiful, even facing something that was fearful, because you have the moon there, I feel if the right vibration of love is there and felt all around, everybody will be successful. I feel like there's going to be a change in a dynamic, but it's not going to be as harsh as somebody was making it out to be before that transition. I don't know if that was everybody's situation. I don't know. I kind of see kids feeling blessed that they have two amazing homes. And I know that's not everyone's situation, and that is definitely something that would take time. You know, maybe that big turnaround doesn't come right away. I just feel like God is watching this situation, if that's your situation, and it'll work out. And something can be rebuilt. It might take some hard work. But I feel like somebody will come around. I feel like love will be felt. So I hope that was helpful. It was like a side message. Sometimes I get extra messages. And I feel like when I go on those trails, that's going to somebody very specific that it's connecting to. And that would only be your situation if that's what you were wondering. But I feel like I'm supposed to show you this. This. Time is precious. I think all of these. So if you have the time to say the words of love that need to be said, say it. Every time you get to say, I love you, say it. Maybe there's someone around you that never says those words. I feel like it's an I love you that's said, not to get an I love you back. And I'm not sure whose energy I'm tapping into or what the situation is exactly. But I just hope that helped. One more for Sag, please. Yeah, you have the Nine of Swords. So this is whoever was worried, whoever was having some self-reflection. it might be a situation where cutting something out was taking so long or thought about for so long that it was actually stalling an ending that was supposed to end to take someone to beautiful like vibrations and situations, a chance. But this might be somebody or you who is definitely in the energy of worry. Overanalyzing something, staring at the clock, wanting that clock to move faster, not sleeping right, stressed out. This is somebody who's stressed out. I mean, it does say there's going to be some work, and it's severing ties and endings. So it could be somebody just doesn't want something to end. There's all these cobwebs. I feel like something needed to be cleaned up a while ago. Somebody's been there so long, the cobwebs are growing on her, and she's still staring at that broken clock. And it's not the clock that I saw earlier where you're doing something that is amazing and you wish the time would go away. This is someone who is lost in time, stuck. This could even be someone that gets to work in the day. They're really good about going to work and getting their projects done. But if there's something that's not being addressed, whether it's cutting something out, building something different, words they wish they would have said, it's somebody not just reflecting, but they're getting kind of lost. They're overanalyzing. They're replaying something and or creating some kind of future scenario land situation to the point where it's starting to stress their body out, affect them in the middle of the night, affect someone's sleep. If this is upside down, this is someone thinking about a dream they never got going on. You know, the words they could probably just call and have a conversation about and don't pick up the phone. But I feel like it's usually about a lost dream or a future dream that somebody wishes they'd have happened in their life, but then they get up and they do the same shit every day instead of making the changes necessary to do something different. It's like they want these changes, but they don't do anything about it. So it's stagnant energy. That's a weird one. So let's clarify the Nine of Swords for you. Oh, it's not the Nine of Swords. It's the Four. I need my glasses. So maybe that message, even when I do that in a reading, maybe that needed to come through. But this does look like a Nine of Swords kind of energy. Four of Swords is also about sleep, but it's wanting peaceful sleep. It's being at peace in maybe what you're rebuilding, or at peace in cutting something out. It could be at peace with words that will never be said or heard, or closure that never happens, or having closure with words that need to be said. But Four of Swords is usually meditation. It's kind of a little bit like the Hermit. I kind of feel like this is someone doing some deep reflection. She just looks cold and alone. It's sort of giving me energy maybe of the upside down Four of Swords, which is going to bed with armor on, except she has no armor on. Usually this is a truce. I forgot how different these cards are. But hey, everything that comes through in a reading, even if it's a mistake, I said something about mistakes before, comes through for a reason. So maybe somebody really desires to have peace, but they're in that Nine of Swords energy instead of doing something about making changes to have this peace, or truce, or meditation, or transparency, since this person is in their birthday suit. It's at the bottom. Let's look. Strength. That's you. You know, that's you in this energy of strength. Peaceful approach. Interesting, because the one thing I think of when I think of strength is honey on the wound. Not always rubbing salt in there. It's a step-by-step situation. Sometimes there's this immediate bond and trust between the angel or the woman and the tiger. And sometimes there was a long time leading up to that. Tiger, you know, or the lion. I don't know why I said tiger. the lion may not have completely trusted that girl right away. But now that lion is in the point where it's protecting her. I do see protection here. Also, it's interesting because you have two really strong energies that came through. But now this is a major arcana. The energy of strength comes through in a reading when you need it. So, Sagittarius, there's something you're going to need some strength for. Believe in yourself. You're going to be okay. Maybe this is also you inspiring somebody else, believing in how strong someone else is. Upside down, it is the energy of lust or pushy power. Ego, desire. Overpowering someone to get. And usually there's a backfiring somehow that happens with that. With this, I feel like it's almost like, you know, the one that yells the loudest amongst a crowd is not heard at all. But sometimes the one that says something in a whisper is the one that is really heard and understood. Maybe this is also at Leo, you're dealing with another fire sign. Gaining strength because of a situation. Or I'm even seeing maybe something that happens like in August or on the 8th, maybe 8 days. What does this clock say? Because you have all this time stuff that came in for you. It says it's like 5:47. I can't even see the other one. Let's get you one overall from the Art of Life. You guys got a longer reading. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope something came through that made a little bit of sense. Or hopefully makes sense later. If you guys could, I would really appreciate if you put something in the comments, anything. If you put a comment in a video, it does help these readings get out to where they need to go. I love reading your comments and connecting with you guys, but even if you throw an emoji in there or thumbs up the video, that's something really small you can do that shows me that you like these videos and these readings. And especially with these, with the star signs, with the astrological zodiac readings, I haven't done them in a long time. So if you do like these and you want me to continue, you have to let me know. And other than that, I look forward to seeing you in the collective readings that I do every day. I truly feel blessed to connect to such beautiful souls that I get to connect to on this channel. So one overall general connective message, since these are starting to get all messy over here, is that it's going to come back to love. You got the Page of Cups. You have two beautiful angels whispering sweet nothings and bringing love into your life. The Page of Cups maybe is a beautiful message. Maybe this needed to come through because this was all kind of working on it stuff. This is a lot later. This is trusting your intuition. This is where you have divine guidance to be at the right place at the right time to connect with the right person, where it feels easy. Maybe it is starting fresh. You know, if it's the same person, you have to start fresh. You have to clean the slate. If this is a new person, you have to allow yourself to learn about who you are with a new person. A new person's a totally different dynamic energy. You're going to be different than you were with anyone else. They're going to be different with you than they were with anyone else. So it's starting small, allowing yourself to grow. This could be just a little whisper, a little message of love that you get, Sag. There is no instinct like that of the heart. I'm kind of seeing this strong heart like a lion. And then I just heard soft like a lamb, or gentle like a lamb. This is like a brand new relationship. It's just getting started. It's where you get the Google eyes. It's where, you know, you get the butterflies. It's that beginning of falling in love. This could also be a younger person around you, learning what it's like to open their heart, finally opening their heart to a new situation in your life or you. Whatever it is, you're getting a lot of divine guidance from God. Your angels. Beautiful vibrations of love helping you out with the whole situation. And with this, I bid you adieu. Thank you for being here, Sagittarius. I love you so much. I look forward to seeing you very soon. I hope you have a beautiful day or night, and I wish you many, many beautiful blessings. Mwah.